How to talk to absolutely anyone. Confident communication for work, life and relationships. Imagine this. You're at a networking event, a party, or even just in line at your local coffee shop. You're surrounded by people, and you know that talking to them could open up new opportunities, friendships, partnerships, even job offers. But there's just one problem. How do you start the conversation? How do you talk to absolutely anyone with confidence? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into the world of confident communication, exploring tips and tricks from Mark Rhodes' book, How to Talk to Absolutely Anyone. Whether you're looking to excel in your professional life, build stronger relationships, or simply get over that initial fear of talking to strangers, this video is for you. We'll break down the core principles that make communication easy and natural, no matter the situation. So, let's start by talking about something we've all faced at some point: fear. Fear is often the biggest barrier to effective communication, whether it's the fear of rejection, fear of saying the wrong thing, or just general anxiety. These fears can paralyze us. You know, that feeling where you want to speak up, but something inside just holds you back. It's like a wall that suddenly appears between you and the other person. Now, here's the thing, everyone experiences this, even the most confident people you know. The difference is in how they handle it. Mark Rhodes really hits the nail on the head when he says that the first step to overcoming these fears is to recognize that they're natural. Think about it. If you know that fear is a normal part of the process, it's less intimidating, right? Once you acknowledge the fear, the next step is to tackle it head on. And one powerful way to do that is through positive affirmations. This might sound a bit cliché, but trust me, it works. Before any interaction, remind yourself of a few key things. I am confident. I have something valuable to say, and people want to talk to me. When you repeat these affirmations, you're not just saying words, you're actually reprogramming your brain. You're shifting your mindset from one of doubt to one of confidence. And when you approach a conversation with that mindset, you'll find that your body language, your tone of voice, and even your choice of words start to reflect that confidence. It's like you're setting yourself up for success before you even say a word. Now that we've laid the foundation with a confident mindset, let's talk about the stages of communication. This is where the magic really happens. Rhodes breaks down every conversation into 3 key stages: initial contact, building rapport, and deepening the conversation. Understanding these stages is like having a map that guides you through every interaction. Think of the first stage, initial contact, as opening the door. This is where you make that first impression, and it's easier than you might think. A simple hi, how's it going, or a comment about the environment you're in can be enough to get things started. The key here is to keep it light and casual, don't overthink it. Remember, the goal is just to open the door for a further conversation. So, let's say you've made that initial contact. What's next? This brings us to the second stage, building rapport. This is where the conversation starts to flow. But how do you go from small talk to something more meaningful? It's all about asking open-ended questions and showing genuine interest in the other person's responses. For example, instead of just asking, "Did you have a good weekend?" you could say, "What was the highlight of your weekend?" This invites them to share more, and as they talk, you can find common ground to build on. And don't forget to share a bit about yourself too. Communication is a two-way street, and by opening up, you encourage the other person to do the same. Now, once the conversation is flowing, you might feel comfortable enough to move to the third stage, deepening the conversation. This is where you start talking about more substantial topics, ideas, opinions, and experiences. Moving beyond small talk can be a bit tricky, but it's also where you can build stronger, more meaningful connections. You could say something like, "I've always been fascinated by how people choose their career paths. What inspired you to get into your field?" This type of question not only keeps the conversation interesting, but also allows you to understand the other person on a deeper level. It's these deeper conversations that build trust and create lasting connections. Let's pause for a moment and think about why deep conversations are so powerful. When you move beyond the surface level topics, you're inviting the other person to share something more personal, something that really matters to them. And when they do, it creates a sense of mutual trust. You're no longer just a people having a casual chat, you're connecting on a level that's much more meaningful. But here's a pro tip: don't rush into deep topics too quickly. It's important to gauge the other person's comfort level. If they're not ready to go there, that's okay. Sometimes, the conversation will naturally evolve into something deeper, and other times, it won't. The key is to be patient and let the conversation unfold at its own pace. Of course, not every conversation is going to be a home run. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, things might feel a little awkward, or the other person might not be as responsive as you'd hoped. That's totally normal and happens to everyone. The important thing is not to get discouraged. When a conversation isn't going well, it's okay to gracefully steer it in a different direction, or even exit the conversation if necessary. For example, you could say, "It was great chatting with you. I'm going to mingle a bit, but let's catch up again later." This way, you're leaving the conversation on a positive note without burning any bridges. Another crucial aspect of effective communication is understanding that people have different communication styles. Some people are direct and to the point, while others might be more reserved or indirect. Recognizing these styles and adapting your approach accordingly can make a huge difference in how your message is received. For example, if you're speaking with someone who is more reserved, they might appreciate a softer approach, where you give them space to express themselves without feeling pressured. On the other hand, someone who is direct might appreciate you getting straight to the point without too much small talk. It's all about reading the room and adjusting your communication style to match the situation. Whether you're communicating in a professional setting, at a social event, or even online, these principles remain the same. Be confident, be clear, and be considerate. Each setting might require a slightly different approach, but the fundamentals of good communication don't change. In a professional setting, for example, you might need to be more formal and focused, whereas in a social setting, you can be more relaxed and personable. Online communication adds another layer to consider, like being mindful of tone, since you don't have the benefit of body language or facial expressions. But no matter where you are, if you stick to these principles, you'll be able to communicate effectively. Let's bring all of this together with a real-world example. Imagine you're at a job interview, one of the most nerve-wracking communication scenarios out there. You can use these techniques to present yourself confidently, build rapport with the interviewer, and stand out from the competition. Start by using those positive affirmations before you walk in. Remind yourself that you have something valuable to offer during the interview. Focus on building rapport by showing genuine interest in the company and the role. Ask thoughtful questions that demonstrate your understanding and enthusiasm. And as the conversation progresses, don't be afraid to delve into deeper topics. Talk about your long-term career goals, or how your values align with the company's mission. This will leave a lasting impression. To wrap things up, let's do a quick recap of what we've covered today. First, overcome your fears by recognizing that they are natural and that everyone experiences them. Second, use positive affirmations to boost your confidence before any interaction. Third, understand the stages of communication: initial contact, building rapport, and deepening the conversation. And finally, adapt your communication style based on the situation and the person you're speaking with. Remember, effective communication isn't about being perfect. It's about being genuine, present, and adaptable. The more you practice these principles, the easier and more natural they'll become. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit